Hi everyone watching, my name is Vanessa. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm happy you're here. If you're returning, you're the best. And I low-key love you. We have 3 piles to pick from, and each pile is going to have like a part 1 for what would happen if they drunk dialed you. And then the second one is going to be what would happen if you guys both got drunk together or high, or just were in a situation where you got your inhibitions were kind of like, where you were more open to be who you are, or do what you want, that kind of situation, right? Like what would happen if there were no rules, no consequences type of thing. The 3 piles to pick from that we have are Tiger's Eye, Amethyst, and Citron. And then the piles are going to be a little bit longer because one of you guys mentioned that you liked longer videos, and I appreciate that, so I tried to make today's decently long, as it should be. But go ahead and pick your pile now. Hi, pile number 1. If you picked the Tiger's Eye, this reading is for you. Welcome to your reading. So, what would happen if they called you, if they drunk dialed you? Well, this person, it's not funny. This person is gonna be a little bit of a crybaby, and kind of complain and just tell you all about their woes and their problems and how they've been feeling lately. We have conscious lack, we have dark thoughts, Page of Swords in reverse, we have Knight of Wands. Oh my god, all of this energy is just, we have 8 of Wands in reverse. So they're impatient, and they're just kind of gonna spill everything out. They're just gonna be like talking so fast and just so, they're just gonna be rushing and impatient and like and rambling and ranting to the point that you're gonna, I think, get annoyed. Like some of you guys might actually just hang up on this person and like, sorry dude, like I'm not your therapist, or like, you know, call me when you're sober, like this is not cool. Because it's gonna be just very much them using you as a shoulder to cry on about how they feel like they're failing, how nothing is going right in their life, how this and that happened, how they want things to be better, and like also they're also going to talk about how they're daydreaming. They are going to mention that they're daydreaming about you, and that sometimes that you're in their mind a lot, and then that they think a lot about you, and that they sometimes wish you guys could see each other more. But it's all about them. When they get drunk, or when they get high, or when they get in this state and they call you, it's just going to be them just in this self-centered energy. And they're honestly going to talk about, we have past, future, present, future, and new beginnings. They're honestly going to talk about, this person's a talker, so they're going to talk a lot about how, honestly, probably about issues that they had in their childhood, about their goals, their aspirations, what they want to happen between you guys, or they're gonna sense annoyance, and that might lead them to be like, no, wait, but okay, let's talk about you. I do want this with you, I do want to do that with you. But it's honestly all just filler words. It's all just, they're feeling lonely, they're feeling like they went to a dark place. They went to a dark place, and they don't want to be alone. They want you there with them. They want you to kind of help them through this. They could also feel guilty for the way things maybe have happened between you guys. That's for a few of you guys. Most of you guys, is just this person really just ranting and getting things off their chest. And I don't want to sound repetitive, but that's honestly all that the cards really say for what would happen, like what they would tell you if they drunk dialed you. It's just gonna be them rambling and them being like miserable, and then they're like, woe is me energy. Also though, I think that they kind of depend on you in a way that maybe they don't. It seems like they don't, but I do think that they depend on you for a little bit of emotional support, and it's not very healthy. Or in this, maybe that's not the case all the time, but when they get drunk and they drunk dial you, it's going to be very dependent and unhealthy. because they feel like they need your reassurance. They need you to tell them it's all okay. They need to tell you to tell them you're not a huge failure, because they look at their life and they think it's fruitless, like they never did anything good enough. They have an inferiority complex, so no matter what, they feel like they're not good enough. No matter what they do, like their body's not good enough, their lifestyle, their car, their job, where they're at in life right now, nothing is good enough. And they call upon you to tell them that everything's okay, to tell them that they're not useless, that they're not lazy, that they're not unlovable. This person's really hurting, and sometimes they might use drugs and alcohol to cope, but no, I don't get that sense a lot here. I just think that in this case, if they were to get drunk and drunk dial, it would be because they're trying to drown their sorrows. But yeah, it leads them to call you and to talk to you. But really, this person just needs to go within and really, heal themselves without another person, because I don't know how much you're into this person, but it's not your job, It's just simply not your job to heal someone else. You can help if you can and if you want to be there, but it's not your job. And I think that you are a learning experience for them, because they look at you and they see like, man, they've been hurt before, or things don't go their way, or they also sometimes feel the ways that I feel, but they still know how to manage it, or they still they're strong, they're resilient, they get through it, and they admire that, and they want to learn from you in that way. And I think that maybe you kind of give them a little bit of tough love, and you tell them that while they're drunk dialing you. You could possibly tell them straight up, like, listen, like, you're in control. If you don't like your job, there's stuff you can do about that. Like, you're not stuck. And I think this person really truly does feel stuck in their life. They feel like they just can't come forward. And with the Knight of Wands, it talks about rapid movement, but it also talks about someone who, like I said earlier, has like word vomit, where they're just like telling you everything. It's impulsive. They're not really thinking things through on what they're saying, and that's why also like a little bit of false promises come in, where they're like, I'll do better, I'll be better. If you guys struggle with anything like that, where you tell them like, hey, listen, you need to work on this, or if you guys desire something with them, or desire whatever it is that you wish that you could change about the connection, and it's gonna pop in your mind because it's different for everybody, they will promise you that is gonna change, but it's a false promise. It's just the salesman in them, like, just being grimy and telling you what you want to hear, and telling you what you want to hear in order to keep you around, because they're really codependent. They're dependent on you a lot, because we have the Empress in reverse, which talks about dependency in an unhealthy way. And then yeah, with the Eight of Swords, like I said, it's just about rushing, and they're impatient, and I don't know about this person. I think that they'll ask you to hang out. I really think that this person will be like, I need to see you, like, and if you guys aren't on talking terms, whatever's going on with you guys, they're gonna ask to see you, and you're just gonna be, I think, a little unsure, because the conversation, they're not calling you and they're like, haha, what's up? Like, I miss you. How have you been? What's going on with you? It's not like that at all. It's like, oh my God, like that. And you're going to be kind of hesitant when they're going to sober up real quick and be like, but I really need to see you. And you're going to be like, I don't know. Like, you can't drive like this. Like, what are you talking about? And if you do see them, we're about to get into what's going to happen if you do end up hanging out with them when they request it while they're like this. But keep in mind that you'll also be possibly under the influence. So it's not going to be that one-sided. So maybe it's a good time. Let's talk about it. Okay. So whatever it is that you guys do while you guys are either drunk or high or whatever, they're going to provide whatever it is, right? They're going to pay for the alcohol and bring it, or invite you out to wherever it is you guys want to go or want to do. Wow. Okay. I didn't know we have the Ten of Cups here. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so if you guys hang out and you guys are both under the influence, the cards look positive. They're not too scary, but okay. So let me see here. I think that if you guys get together and drink or smoke, it would be a really positive experience, much different from them drunk dialing you, because that's just them alone in their sorrow. Okay, so that's what would happen if they were drinking alone and just whatever. But if you guys were to drink together, it would be a good time. They would invite you out. You guys would probably eat dinner and have a couple drinks, or maybe just hang out at their place and like have a really chill, low-key night, but a lot of fun. And I think it's where you guys would kind of talk and bond and kind of let go of past issues that you guys have had, or past miscommunications, because we have the Five of Cups in reverse. And it talks about like looking at the brighter side. It can be talking about forgiveness, if you guys need to forgive, as well as emotional maturity and like getting over something that maybe you guys both experienced together. However, it's not going to go, perfectly, because I think that there is going to be a little bit of, in order to get to that forgiveness, you guys are going to have to talk about certain things. And this could be like, I think that they might end up spending more than they meant to, because they're trying to impress you, because they want to show you a good time, because they're apologizing, trying to make amends, and they might end up at some point just being stupid and a little too drunk and like, oh, it's all your fault, I spent all my money. And then you're like, what? Like, it was, what? You're a grown person, you can choose your own decisions. But that's just them being drunk and stupid, and I wouldn't necessarily take it to heart, although it might take you aback. But like I said, this person can get kind of like, I guess, rash and impulsive when they drink, and that's not to say that they're scary or they're gonna hurt you, but yeah. And then they're gonna want to talk to you kind of about, you guys are both gonna want to talk about and broach the subject of kids and what you guys want to do in your connection and how close you guys want to get. And I do think that there's going to be a little bit of exploring each other, and in some way, so it could either be physically exploring each other, or exploring each other's goals and dreams, or exploring each other's ideas on family, because then we have the Ten of Cups, which is quite beautiful. I think you guys, when you guys drink together, you guys feel the sense of unity and the sense of like you guys could be a really good team if everyone gets their shit together. And I think I was a little harsh earlier when the person was drunk dialing you. Like, it's just that they're going through a hard time, and I guess my empathy was directed more towards you, but they also deserve empathy. Like, they could have just had a really hard last couple of weeks, or they're just feeling overwhelmed. So yeah. And I think things are gonna get sensual. I'm not sure you guys are gonna go full on and do the deed, but things are going to get pretty sensual, and they're going to lead. We have follow the leader and rescue. And whatever happens, the whole experience of you guys drinking or smoking together is going to be super healing. Super, super healing, super spiritual. And it's going to feel really good. You guys are going to feel really warm. And I think you're going to kind of find out just how unique they are, if you didn't know already. Like, they are quite, I don't know if I want to say loving, but like perhaps giving. They're quite giving, and they kind of, you know, they want to make you feel good, but they also, the act itself of you, because you guys are gonna like get a little physical, but like I said earlier, I don't know if it's gonna be like full on sex, but it is gonna be a little exploring of each other's bodies and mind. There's a lot of mind exploring, and it's gonna, you guys will really, you guys won't speak so much about emotions as, but you'll communicate emotion and the way you guys feel through the act itself. We have the King of Cups there, and we have a lot of like, I'm not sure if you guys have been this intimate before, but you guys are going to reach a new level of intimacy because you guys are kind of, you know, you guys are looser, you guys aren't as self-conscious, both of you guys. You guys are a little more free and willing to explore. And they're just going to look at you in awe. They're just going to be like, they're going to be lost in a daydream. And I feel like for some of you guys, the phone call, if they, you guys might get, you know, together and be a little tipsy and stuff, and then the phone call might be afterwards where they just tell you like, listen, I really like you, but I'm a piece of shit, and I this and that, and I suck, and all these things, because they need that self-assurance, because they just, they can be quite insecure at times, which like, I feel for them, you know, it sucks to feel insecure, but there is like a little bit of an imbalance in this connection, because we have the Lovers in reverse. I honestly think that you might feel like you like them so much more than they like you, but it's actually quite the opposite. They need you, and you might think you need them, but you really don't, but they like feel it in their core that they need you. And that kind of scares them. Obviously, who wants to like need someone and feel like without them it's, you know, they can't function and stuff like that. But overall, your guys' connection is a tough one for me, because I don't want to steer you wrong. Your intuition should come first, but this person has a lot of growing to do, and I feel like they literally want you to rescue them from their negative thoughts or their feelings or their life. Quite literally, they might end up like asking you to move in really fast, and it's just kind of a way they like to escape a lot. Like I was saying earlier with the other card that I pulled, I lost the cards, I can't remember what card it was, but yeah, Empress. They, in reverse, they just daydream a lot, and they need an escape. They go off into fantasy land, and I think you're their escape. You're their current escape, even if they don't seem like it. But pile number 1, if this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys. Oh man. Pile number 2, if you pick the amethyst crystal, this reading is for you. Your person, woo. Yeah, they're gonna go through it when they call you. They're gonna get an epiphany, and they're gonna call you and just tell you how they're fine without you. So we have the Emperor in reverse, so you know they're gonna be domineering, and they're gonna tell you how it is and their opinion, and it is what it is, right? So they're gonna come at you very matter of fact, and this is what it is, and you're just gonna kind of be taken aback, like, okay, I didn't know you felt all this way. Like they're gonna get high and like or drunk, whatever your person is into, and just kind of be like, they're gonna think that they have all these epiphanies on why you are bad for them. They're gonna say, listen, you're holding me back, you're or I feel like I'm being held back. They might not put the blame on you, but I think that for a lot of you guys, even if they don't directly come out and say it, they are gonna kind of blame you. They're gonna be like, I buy you all these things, or you know, I can't, it's too much of a financial burden for me, because Ten of Pentacles talks about financial success when it's in the upright, but when it's in reverse, it talks about financial ruin, and you know, feeling, and you know, it doesn't have to be financial, but it is like them feeling like there is a draining of some sort of situation for them. So it could be energy. They could be like, listen, I'm spending all my time with you, I'm spending all my time thinking about you, I'm spending all my time being there for you, or there is something that they feel like that is being taken away from them, and for a quick 5 seconds they're gonna be like, it's all your fault, you know, we shouldn't talk, like you're this, you're that, or you make me feel this way, or I just think I need some space, all these blah 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 blah. And possibly they hang up and they think about what they said and how cruel and how unjust it was, and how, no, that's not reality, bro, you're just in your feels, or you're just in your head, you're just under the influence. Because, you know, I don't know if any of you guys partake or have ever partaken in a little bit of the cannabis, the devil's lettuce, and sometimes it can make you have these epiphanies that you think are so right. One time I bought $50 worth of vitamins. I'm exposing myself. $50 worth of vitamins because I thought I needed them. I got like B12, calcium. I don't even know what I got. I ended up sending them to some family in Mexico because I was like, I'm tripping, I don't need this. But sometimes weed can make you come to these epiphanies where, like, you know, you think you're so right, it's so spot on, like, yes, this is it. They can cut, and that's kind of what they end up going through, is that they end up going through this like epiphany of like, listen, you're not good for my life, or I need to be alone, I need some space. You know, they're just going through whatever it is that they're going through that they think is like, so that's the answer to all their problems. But it's not, and they hang up and they come to their senses and they call you back real quick. Listen, I'm so sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. You mean a lot to me. You're my true love. Like, what would I do without you? Like, I'd marry you if you want me to. If you want us to get married, just say when. Let's get married right this second. And they're gonna feel like after that crazy shit, because we have the king of this crazy little meltdown that they had, we have the King of Swords, and that talks about just mental clarity and power and authority, and just, God, this person must be like a fiery sign or something, because we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is like Aries, and it's just power, and then as well as is the King of Swords. And then we have Justice. So you'll have justice in this situation where they'll call you and be like, listen, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking, like, I'm clearly out of it, it's not true. And then they go into this spiel about how, you know, they want to treat you right, how much they care for you, how you're their true love, how it's meant to be, how it's fated, how you're the sun and the moon and the stars for them, and how you guys, they could even, for some of you guys, depending on who your person is, but they could even get into, listen, we were reincarnated together, we're going through cycles, like, you're my twin flame. It just depends how spiritual this person is and what he's into, but or he'll just tell you it's meant to be because God wrote it in the stars, and he prayed about it, and you're it for him. And you know, he'll just be quick to be like, listen, it's all good, like, everything that's ever happened in the past, it's all good. Like, I'm not sure they're really gonna give you a real apology about like how earlier they were telling you how you were the scum of the earth and they didn't need you. For a lot of you guys, your person's not that harsh, and if they are, then I'd rethink that. But they're gonna tell you how they want to like fix this connection or make it better, or like I said, like, let's get married right now, like, you're it for me. They're gonna also want to do something fun. They're like, listen, let's go right now, let's go to the beach, let's go on a road trip, fuck the pandemic. Let's go travel across the country. I mean, if you're in the US, you can't really go to any other countries, but you know, this person's gonna try. They're gonna be like, let's go to Mexico, UK, France, anywhere you want to go, I'll take you. Like, you're it for me, I'm sorry, but I don't know about all that. But if you guys were to hang out, we should get into that. And like, for pal number one, I feel like I judged the person kind of harshly, because when someone drunk dials, like, they're not in their right mind. Like, the shit that they say and do is kind of like silly. You can't take them too serious, and I think that's the case for this person. Like, it might hurt your feelings a little bit that they're like, you're holding me back, or you're making my life hard in some way, but they don't really mean it, and it's just the stuff talking. And if it's a huge problem, then I would just talk to them about, like, hey, listen, you know, it really hurts my feelings when you get drunk or high and then go off on me, and maybe you shouldn't do that anymore. So that's a conversation to have when you're sober. So I'm trying not to judge them too much for it, but you feel free to judge them or not judge them, whatever you want to do. And then, so what would happen if you guys hung out together and both of you guys were kind of under the influence, both of you guys were kind of feeling loose, both of you guys were kind of in the mood? Let's see what kind of mood you guys are in. Okay, so if you guys were to get drunk or high or whatever together, it would be a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm just meditating on the cards a little bit. So your person, again, they have to be some type of fire sign. Because we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And when the Queen of Wands in reverse doesn't get her way, she becomes intrusive, she becomes rude, she becomes a fucking bitch. Just like, what was the card earlier that was first? The Emperor in reverse becomes a fucking dick, right? Like, they stomp their feet. They're like, listen, like, this is what I want to effing do, and like, this is what we're gonna do, or else I'm gonna fucking pout and be a bitch about it. So your person might, or one of you guys, because both of you guys are under the influence here, someone's like, listen, this is what I want to do, like, I really want to go here, I really want to do this, like, let's just go do this. And the other person's like, no, I don't know about that. Someone caves, and you guys go and have a good old time and spend money and just like have a fun time. However, during all of this, you guys don't really talk about your feelings, because we have the Cups in reverse. So you guys, it's not a very emotional time. It's not you guys, like, you know, sitting at a bar crying your heart out and just telling each other that. I think it might end up, I don't know about this connection, guys. You guys have to let me know in the comments if it's, I don't know. Because it could also talk about, you know, toxic behaviors or emotional abuse, but I don't know if I necessarily get that. I think that you guys could end up having a little bit of a blowout, where like one of you guys gets angered and it's like, well, fuck it, let's just go home. Or you know what, then let's just like talk another time, like, this is too much for me. Because emotions tend to run high when, you know, you're under the influence, or they seem more intense. And then it's kind of hard, because I don't know if you guys are what level this connection is at. It's different for everyone, and how you guys handle seeing each other at, you know, at that stage. But with the Sun, you know, it is fun, it is warm, it is a good time eventually. I think you guys just have to God, you guys are complicated. You guys are so complicated, and I wish it was not that complicated. But with the Hierophant, or in reverse, I think that they have a little bit of a hard time initiating things. So like, if we're talking about getting physical or having a fun time in that sense, one of you guys, probably them, has a hard time initiating, has a hard time like coming forward and like being like making the first move, honestly. Even though they're intoxicated, they're still yeah, because we have the Magician in reverse. And this person doesn't want to commit and doesn't want to put a label on you guys.
And it's a little bit unbalanced, because what this person wants is, this person low-key wants you to go down on them. What you guys are, they're going to suggest that. They might even give you a little nudge, if you know what I mean. And they want to take. They want to take what they want. And you could be into it, so hey, no judgment. But I do think it's going to kind of help you to see that, like, I don't know if this connection is for you, different for everybody, and kind of open up your eyes to who this person really is. And they're quite selfish, because I do think that it's that this is them. They're the Queen of Wands in reverse. They're me, and dominant and like domineering. And it's not that they're scared to make the first move, it's that they want you to make the first move so you can feel, because the King of Cups in reverse is a manipulator. They want you to feel like you're making the first move, and they want you to feel like, I wish this was more positive, but they want you to feel like you're making the first move, you're in control, when in reality they're just like pulling strings. Because this person they might have Cancer and Aries in their chart. I feel very strong Cancer and Aries vibes. Take that as it resonates. Doesn't have to be, because I also feel Libra up in this bitch. But they're gonna be quite sweet to you. They're just a little rough. But afterwards, if you guys do the full deed and you guys have sex, it's not gonna be an awful time. I think that they will like to dominate you, and if you like that, and you consent to that, then it'll be a good time, and afterwards they will be really sweet to you. But after they're still not gonna commit. They're still not gonna come forward and like give you what you deserve. They're still gonna be like fucking around, because this person's something else. Pile number 2. That's all I really have for you today. If this resonated, please let me know in the comments. I'm sorry it wasn't more positive. I really wanted it to be. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys. Okay. So, this pile number 3, hello. Thanks for coming. So, this pile, it's a lot. The energy when I was pulling the cards was a lot. Like, you guys have extra cards everywhere. When the other piles didn't. And this person's energy is quite interesting. So this person's going to be really apprehensive about drunk dialing you. And I think it could be because you guys could be friends, or your connection isn't really what's supposed to be upright, isn't really rooted in like courtship, or it's not, it's not primarily romantic for some of you guys. Take that as it resonates, and if it is, it still applies. But they're quite hesitant, because they're like, I'm drunk, like I don't want to tell them things that I shouldn't be telling them. I don't want to be mean or a mean drunk or anything. This person does think about it before they call you, but they're impatient. They're like, fuck it. Maybe they haven't talked to you in a little while, because we have the Knight of Wands in reverse that talks about being impulsive and rash and impatient. And they're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna call them. And they're gonna call you, and they're gonna be like, listen. For some of you guys, I think that there is a third party, and this person's gonna rant to you about this third party a little bit, and they're gonna be like, I feel stuck. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if, in general, I think this person feels stuck in their life. And maybe it could be their job, maybe it could be where they're living, and it could be a relationship or connection. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but there is like something or someone else involved. We have the 3 of chalices, so they're gonna kind of complain a little bit about that, kind of rant to you and express to you how they're feeling about their life. But for most of you guys, it's gonna be like, I feel stuck with this person, like they're not what I wanted, they're this, they're that, they're all these issues that they have with this person, and you're a good friend, so you're just gonna like keep the peace, like, listen, well, you're gonna be a good friend, because if you guys are friends and your person does have another partner or has something in their life that they prioritize, you're gonna be like, well, is it that bad? How can I help? Like, how can you make yourself You know, how can you make it better for yourself? I think you're quite emotionally intelligent to the point that I don't think you're a toxic person. So you do help this person without bashing the other situation, right? The other person, the other family member, their job or whatever. You kind of try to put things into perspective for them, and they're like, listen, I really appreciate you as a friend. Like, I love your friendship. I love you. Like, I really love you. I just get that they really want to tell you that is that they love you. Like, they want to be like, hey, I love you. And I don't know if they mean it romantically or they mean it, I love you as a person. I don't know. You tell me, because I think you will know internally, because it's different for everybody, how they mean that I love you. And then we have the Ace of Coins. So they make you an offer. They tell you they want to start something, and it could be something small like, hey, I want you a little bit more in my life, or you know, we should hang out. What are you doing? You make me feel really good. And then after that, they just go on a rant, and they just, not on a rant, they just go on a little rant about how special you are and how much you mean to them. They get a little emotional. They get a little choked up, and they just express all the things that they feel like they can't tell you day to day. I feel like their throat chakra is blocked a lot of the times. This is blue, and blue represents the throat chakra, and then he has a little orb of water. I think that he's had that, or she, or they, whatever. Your person has had that block in their throat for a really long time, because your person is quite logical. I do see that with wands and chariot. They're quite in control all the time, I think, and they're quite logical and rational, and so they never really like express themselves fully to you, because they don't want to, at least in person, they don't want to rock the boat, and they don't want to hurt. If they have another person, they don't want to hurt the other person, and they don't want to cross boundaries, because they want to keep you in their life. Like, you make them feel so good. You make them, I don't know what it is that you do to them or talk to them about, or how you treat them, but they just feel really good in your presence, and they want to tell you all these things that they feel. Like, they feel like their voice box, their throat is finally open to just sing all these praises and all this way that they feel. But the thing is that they can't come forward, because if they are in a connection, I don't think they're the type to quickly, they're committed to their person, so they're not the quite type to quickly just discard their person and like run into your arms. I think that in some cases this person has to leave the other situation, heal, and then come towards you. And I'm not sure if they're ready to do that yet. And they're just like gonna tell you how they don't know where they're going, they don't know where they're headed, they don't know what to do. They feel very, like I said, stuck, but then also directionless, because we have the Chariot in reverse. And when it's upright, it's all about like moving towards and going towards the thing or what you want to do, and it's in reverse. So they're, you know, at the end of the call or during whatever, they just let you know like, hey, that's how I feel, but my actions, I don't know what I'm actually gonna do. I don't know what to actually do. And you kind of talk to them, and you're like, well, listen to your heart. I think you're quite a spiritual and emotional person, and you kind of tell them like, listen, I feel the same way. I think you kind of give them your heart in this conversation, even though they're drunk and you're probably not, or they're high or whatever. You just kind of, you know, you let them know how exactly you're feeling as well, because maybe you've been feeling like your throat chakra is blocked too. And this is your opportunity to tell them how you feel. And you're like, listen, like, I know I understand, but, you know, it's hurting me, because I also feel this way towards you. And if you got to figure your shit out, and you got to look within and really, truly figure out what your heart wants and do that. And they're like, but, you know, my head tells me this. And you're like, listen, figure it out, bud. And you ask them, and it helps them, but you ask them to meet their higher self. You ask them to stop, you know, being so rational and grounded, and this is the right thing to do. And this person looks good on my arm, and you're like, but is that making you happy? And we don't know. But they do appreciate you, and they tell you that, and they feel so abundant and blessed that you're in their life in general, and they just want to have you around more, and they do tell you that. But like I said, I think it's a little complicated because there's something that they're committed to. Take that as it resonates. Let's get into what would happen if you guys were both a little drunk, a little tipsy, if you guys were both sipping and possibly smoking. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there, and by that I mean I was just, dropping everything like I like to do. But let me lay out some cards. That's not the pile. I got a little flustered and lightheaded, so I feel like you guys might end up going to like a, this is very specific, and obviously it's not going to apply to everyone because it just depends where you live. But some of you guys might go to a hookah lounge and then go elsewhere after that. Whatever, that's going to only apply to a couple of you guys. I don't know why I felt like saying that. But if you've ever been in a hookah lounge, you will understand the kind of lightheaded that you feel, and that's how I feel right now. So I don't know why I feel that way. But okay. Your person, if you guys get drunk and high together, what would happen? Well, one of you guys, both of you guys, all four of you guys, whoever's involved, I don't know, I feel like there's a third. Or a fourth? No. But whoever's involved, ignore that. You guys are, if you guys go out and get wasted in some way, you guys are gonna get I feel like you guys are gonna use this as an excuse. I think that you guys have been wanting each other for a while, and the fucking floodgates are gonna open. Oh god. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. I feel so flustered. So I think that there's a lot of hesitancy. There's a lot of hesitance to even hang out and do this in the first place. Because I think you guys kind of commit to whatever is going to happen will happen before you guys even hang out. I think you guys commit to knowing that something's going to happen and something's going to change the minute you guys agree to hanging out. And that type of hanging out, it's not like, oh, want to go on a hike. It's going to be like, hey, should we go do this? Should we go get dinner and get a couple beers? Or should we go to the bar? Or, hey, want to smoke? Like, want to come over and smoke? Whatever the case is. And it's going to be vague. It's going to be like, hey, should we hang out? And they're going to be like, yeah, I want to smoke or something. Yeah, or something. And then you guys end up doing it. So it's going to start a little vague, a little... You guys just know that you guys have to do something, that something has to break, that something has to happen with the Ace of Wands in reverse. And it does. And like I said, the floodgates freaking open. And you guys hang out and, you indulge in whatever it is that you guys like to indulge in. And while you don't like to pretend that it is, it's a conscious decision. Because with the Nine of Swords in reverse talks about literally conscious choices and decisions. And I think you guys mask it under you guys are both masking it and lying to yourselves just a little bit and saying like, it's just two friends hanging out. It's just two friends sharing a joint. It's just two friends sharing a beer. Like, we just need to catch up. We haven't catched up in forever. And it turns into something more. Now, for the ones of you guys that are like completely against cheating and would never fucking cheat or be a cheater or help people cheat, if this were to happen, I think it would happen once your person is broken off from their commitment and you guys get together to catch up. You guys are like, you want to be you want to lend an ear and you want to help a friend out. And, you know, you're like, yeah, let's hang out, let's talk about your breakup, like, how are you, how are things? And you guys get a little tipsy, but it is a conscious choice to take a step further, because I think that there's a spark, and there's like, so that spark here. There's a spark, and there's a, sorry that these are not on, I'm like not looking at the camera, I'm looking at like in front of me, so it's like, there, I want you guys to have everything in the frame. But there's a spark that you guys have always had, and you guys probably haven't explored it yet, or you have before a little bit, and then, you know, for whatever circumstances, it never came to be in quite the way you both wanted to. But this time it's gonna feel different, and it's gonna feel like you guys need to do it, and you guys need to explore this. But it's scary because it's change, and it's like changing your past situation. It's changing the type of friends you guys, or the type of connection you guys used to have. So doing this, hanging out, and inviting non-sobriety, inviting like a head change, inviting that, it feels very nerve-wracking, because you guys can feel it in your bones as well as they can, that something's changing and something's brewing. But you guys are going to realize, and you guys are going to come into union in a really beautiful way, where your souls connect and touch. We have the Two of Cups, and you guys are going to feel right. Like, it's going to feel right. Like, yeah, you guys are a little intoxicated, or very intoxicated, just depends. But it's going to feel really right, and like, your souls are going to connect and intertwine. This card is so beautiful. And the fact that it looks like it's two members of the same gender, I like it. It's cute. Yeah. So the Two of Cups, man, it's unity. It's one person pouring into the other person's cup, and the other one pouring back. You know, it's just like a flow of energy, a flow of reciprocation that I think that you guys haven't had yet. But it's gonna feel quite scary, and it's gonna feel quite like you guys are foolish, because we have the Fool in reverse. It's gonna feel like it's so scary, and I think you guys are it's gonna be kind of naive, because one or both of you guys could feel very like, could have your rose-colored glasses about this, like, no, we can do this, we can have sex, we can connect in this way, we can kiss, we can do all these things, and we can go back to being how we were, we can go back to the friend zone, we can go back to before how things worked in the past. And it's very naive, because that is not at all, like, one of you guys or both of you guys can be kind of in denial about that, and think that things are just going to go back to normal after this, or think that it's not going to affect you guys the way it does. Or simply, it's you guys weren't expecting how fucking much you guys' souls were going to finally connect, and it's going to feel like a fucking sigh, like a weight is lifted off, because you guys are both probably have struggled with this connection and opening up in this way to each other. So by the time that it happens, it's like a release. Quite literally, because I think you guys are also going to get into the naughty stuff. And it's going to be a transition into, like, you're going to help them. You're going to, I don't know how if you know if this is your end all be all person, but I do see that you're going to help them definitely let go of that commitment or guilt or anything that they have been feeling in the past, because we have the Six of Swords, and that talks about, you know, transition, possibly also moving or letting go. So I think that it's letting go of what your connection used to be. It's letting go of if you had any jealousies or hurt. It's letting go of like what they could have had in the past. And it's also quite literally, they could move, or you could move, or you guys can move together, and you guys let go of a past and a past life and a past situation. And it's also letting go of, like, you guys have had each other as a crutch, you know, in the friendship sense, and that's fine. but it's letting go of that, and now you're into the unknown of, you know, having this connection move into a more romantic connection. And yeah. But as far as it getting physical, guys, you guys are gonna both be coming a lot because we have the wheel, and that's just like completion and cycles, so it's just gonna be like over and over and over. And then we have justice, so I think that it's gonna be, you guys are gonna be like, I don't think that there's anyone really like dominating the situation. I think you guys are both reciprocated and having a lot of fun, and I think that they are gonna be quite surprised about like how good it is, because they never, I guess maybe they never saw you in that light, which is why they weren't with you from the beginning, I guess. But they maybe saw you as more innocent or more shy or something. But when it comes to sex, I think that the way I just whispered that when it comes to sex, like a kid that doesn't want to get in trouble talking to their friends, like, yeah, I learned what sex means, sex. But when it comes to sex, like, they were never expecting you to be like so receptive to them and so playful or whatever it is, because not everyone's the same exact way during sex. But however you are, they weren't expecting that. And it feels like an escape. It feels like a cleansing, a clearing. It's, you guys are not going to feel guilty at all. So so this leads me to believe that, you know, if they were in a committed situation, they got out of that before they came towards you. I don't think that this person is a cheater. I don't think that you would be interested in being the other person. Like, that's just not, no. But it's just like a renewal and a reveal of how you guys really feel about each other and how good it is between you guys. Like, it's so fucking bomb. So congratulations on having bomb sex. But they, like, you tease them without even trying, or maybe you do, you know, give them a striptease, I don't know, it depends. But without even trying, they're like so tempted by you. Like, they just watch you, like, you're probably just taking off your shirt, taking off your shoes, whatever it is that you're doing. They're just like, they're just looking at you with like lust in their eyes, not gonna lie. And that could also be for you. You could find this person very, very, very attractive, and you could also be like, finally, like, about time I got this person naked and where you want them. And afterwards, I'm not doing this in reversals, and afterwards it just feels very complete and satisfying, because that's y'all. Look at that spilled cup of wine, satisfied and spent faces. Like, overall, you guys had a really good time. And I think that because you guys took so long, and honestly, you guys had patience because you guys took this long, I guess, and you guys got to know each other and who you are as a person, that when you guys come together, it's not rushed and forced and icky. It's like so beautiful and so good. I don't know what the future holds, but if you guys got drunk together or high together, it'd be bomb. Pile number 3, that's all I really have for you. Let me know in the comments if that resonated with you. Thank you for sticking around and watching this video if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.